I woke up on that morning after spending the night at my parents' house and decided to drive to the railroad tracks that led to the trestle that crossed the Thornapple River north of Ladysmith. I had walked back to that place several times in the past and always wanted to come back again and just sit and enjoy the spot. So on that morning, that is what I did. The trestle was an old iron bridge that spanned 30 or so feet above the water's surface. The trestle had been present at that crossing on the Thornapple for many years, and in many ways defined that place. The iron and timber structure was supported by concrete piers that were beginning to spall and crack, making me wonder how many more years it would stand. On the north end of the bridge, 3 graceful concrete arches supported the structure over the lower ground that sloped back down towards the river. Walking across the wooden ties that formed the cross pieces that supported the tracks always got my adrenaline flowing, especially when I looked down between the open ties to the river below and wondered what I would do if a train should happen to come down to the tracks as I crossed the bridge. Walking over the trestle on that day, I was disappointed to see that the surface of the river was still covered with ice and snow. Only small scattered openings in the ice allowed a glimpse of the flowing water below. When I got off the trestle and walked along the river edge, I stopped to look down into those openings and listen to the echoing sounds the water made as it trickled and gurgled past the obstructions below the holes in the frozen river surface. As I sat down below the bridge on a rock near the river, a train whistle blew off in the distance to the south, a warning that a train would be crossing the trestle soon. I recalled hearing about a carload of teenagers when I was a kid that had been struck by a train at the distant road crossing. Fortunately for my lower level seat, the passing train would not pose any threat to me on that day, except for hopefully brief disruption of the quiet. And before I knew it, the train was there. Listening to the train pass, I was taken back to a time probably 20 years ago or more, when I came to the trestle with a young woman who would one day be my wife. As we were walking back to our car after visiting the trestle, a train came thundering down the tracks towards us. Before the train reached us, we walked a short distance away from the tracks and then stopped and held each other as we watched the train roll by. Once it passed, we returned to the tracks and continued walking. The receding blare of the train whistle brought me back to the present, and when I looked up again, the train was gone. The silence gradually returned, and the stillness was accentuated by the occasional popping and creaking noises that came out from the joints of the trestle as it resettled back onto its concrete foundations. My feet began to tingle after sitting on the rock, reminding me that it was time to move on. I carried away a renewed appreciation for that place and old memories as I walked away from the Thornapple Trestle.